everyone, Josie here, Life at 50 and Beyond. Thanks for joining me here in my channel. Today I have 3 Dollar Tree DIYs for you all. A couple of them are going to be a refresh from my spring home decor, which I also created as a revamp or refresh from my winter 2018. So I have been reusing this same kind of backdrop for the seasons. So this time I'm going to go ahead and create another winter decor that can stay all throughout the winter. So for the first DIY, I am going to be using these 2 wreaths. These are the 2 different sizes that they sell at Dollar Tree. The bigger one is 18 inches wide and the smaller one is 15 inches wide. So since the wreaths are very thin, I figured if I combine them, I can create a full wreath. So I'm just going to be putting the smaller wreath inside or at the center of the bigger wreath. And to cover the hardware or the wires that are sticking out, I will be using this wired garland ties. And I have some leftover from last year's projects that I am reusing, so I'm going to use them first. So holding my 2 wreaths together, I'm just tying the wired garland ties one at a time and just tying them on top of the 2 wreaths. So I'm just going to twist them around so that they will look like they're part of the 2 wreaths. I will be tying several of these garland ties on different areas where the wires are exposed. Now that I'm satisfied on how it looks full enough for me as a full wreath and there are no more wires sticking out. I'm going to go ahead and add embellishments. I'm going to be adding this cardinal, which comes 2 in a pack, and I used 1 already on my previous DIY, and I'll be linking that in the upper right hand corner of this screen. But I'll just be tying this off center, so it's going to be towards the bottom left side of this wreath. So I'm just going to tie it in one of the garland ties that I tied up earlier and just make it look like it is perched on one of the branches. Next, I am going to be tying a simple bow on the top center of the wreath. I'm going to be using my leftover black and white buffalo checks ribbon that I got on clearance last year at Hobby Lobby. I am using one of the garland ties and tying it or anchoring my bow at the top center. And then for more pops of red, I am going to be adding clumps of berries. First, this big clump of berries I will be placing underneath the bow at the center below where I made the knot. I'm just hot gluing it in place, and then the smaller clumps of berries, I will be placing them in 3 different areas. I'm making sure that all 4 clumps of berries are spaced evenly. And here is my finished wreath. I will be placing it on this 4 picture frames that I have connected to make it look like it is a faux window frame. And I have created this last winter 2018, and I'm linking it in the upper right hand corner. It was a reindeer snow scene or winter scene as part of my winter wonderland theme that I created for that year. I'm just going to be removing the string so that I can reuse it to attach my winter wreath. And I like the way that this frame looks. I am leaving it as is. I've mentioned that during springtime when I have connected this spring wreath, that I like the way that it looked with all the chips and all those rustic feel with the weathered look. It is so rustic and so farmhouse. So like I said, I'm going to be just tying it with the same string, and that should do it. And here's the finished window frame wreath, and I love how it turned out. For this next DIY, I will be using two mini Dollar Tree trees, and they come in green as well as white, but I'll be using the green ones. I'll be creating two topiaries. I will be shaping them in a conical shape, kind of like a cypress tree, and I will be placing them inside two white cups that I got at Dollar Tree. So this is going to be a simple DIY. I've already created something similar from my previous DIY, which I have uploaded a few days ago, and I'll be linking it in the upper right hand corner of the screen. So all I do is kind of bend the top a little bit to the center, and then I am spreading the branches a little bit, but not too much. Again, I want to keep them conical, kind of like a cypress tree, and then I am hot gluing the bottom to the center of my cup. But I'm making sure first that the front that I'm using is the one that has the thicker bush, or the branches are concentrated at the center, because at the back you will see the hardware. And I am fluffing out the branches a little bit. Again, I don't want this to look like Christmas trees, so I'm just keeping them upright. Since I will be placing these trees on top of our fireplace mantle, one on the left and one on the right to flank the window wreath that I just created, I will be positioning the cups in a way that the one that I'm placing on the left side of the mantle will have the handle towards the left side, and then the one on the right will have the handle positioned towards the right. I don't know if you noticed, but these are two different cups. They're just kind of similar because they're white, but if you notice, one is a little darker white and the other one is brighter white. Anyway, I'll be filling them with this paper napkins that I got at Dollar Tree. They come 20 in a pack, and I love this because it can give this pots or this topiaries a pop of red. So to fill in the voids or the empty spaces inside the cup, I will be using this snowflake design with the red backdrop paper napkins. I'll just folding them twice in a triangular shape, and then I'll just tuck them in, one in the front and then one at the back. So I'll just create two for each, just to give it a puff of red as well as fill in the empty spaces. Using just a few strands of my red and white strings that I also got at Dollar Tree, I am just creating a simple bow on each of the tree. So I'll just be attaching them onto the top of each topiary. And here they are. I love how they look like. So simple, so easy to make, and the pop of red really makes a big difference. For my next DIY, I'll be revamping these three paddle-shaped cutting boards that I made into spring decor early this year. And I am just going to be removing the spring flowers or the lavenders, and I'll be replacing them with winter fillers. So I'm just going to be leaving the backdrop as is, and I use popsicle sticks here to make them look like faux shiplap, and I use a paper cup that I got at Dollar Tree to make the pots. So I'll be linking again on the upper right hand corner the video when I created this DIY. I'll be covering each pot with burlap fabric. So I'm going to be cutting 3 equal sizes in square shape my burlap fabric. I got a big roll of this 6-inch wide burlap fabric from burlapfabric.com, and I will be putting in the description box a coupon code that you can use also to the website where you can get this. It's cheaper if you buy this in bulk rather than it's much cheaper, especially if you're a crafter and you like to work with burlap. But if you just need a single sheet or a single roll of ribbon, it's better for you to just get them at retail. But if you just want to save some, you can use my discount code in the description box. I am not going to be paid any commission on the sale from burlap fabric. I'm just trying to pass on the savings to my viewers. So anyway, I cut this 3 equal sizes of squares, and they measure, I think, around 4 by 4 by 4 by 4. Okay, so it's a perfect square, and then I am just going to be hot gluing these on top of my pot. Using some leftover wired garland ties. I'll be using 1 in each pot. I'm just going to be cutting each one in half and then putting them inside in a V shape like so. And then I will be using my leftover napkins from earlier and then just cutting 3 strips 1 inch wide each so that I can hot glue each one at the center of my pot so that it will look like it's a band of red. So to give it another pop of color to coordinate everything that we have in our home. And then I'll just hot glue this and cut it to size. And this is how it looks like. I found some more faux greenery that I have on stash from my fall decor, but they would look great here on my winter decor. I placed each branch in between the 2 thistles, and then I placed a berry on the top center of my pot. Using this poster stickers, I'll be spelling out the word joy by adding the letters J-O-Y. I am not going to be gluing it. I'll just use the adhesives because they are stickers anyway. I'm not going to be Mod Podging them because what I'm planning on doing is that I will be removing the red berries as well as the band of napkins and the letters so that I can change the decorations for the season. So I love how they turned out, and I am going to be hanging them onto the hooks of the frame. And I am just going to keep the placemat It's Good to Be Home that I used on the original frame because they match the color scheme, and the wordings are also in time for winter when it's actually the time of homecomings and gatherings. So I just used the same placemat instead of changing it, and it works out. And here is the top of our fireplace. I placed at the top center the wreath frame and then flanked by the 2 topiaries that I created. In between those 2 topiaries, I lined up the 4 galvanized houses that I purchased at Target Dollar Spot last year, and I put a white bristle brush tree that I also got at Target Dollar Spot last year to kind of balance things out. The mantle isn't completely done yet. I am still going to create probably a garland or a banner for winter, and that'll be my next DIY. But I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please share to anyone as well that who might be interested in this type of projects. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe to click that notification bell icon so that you will not miss any of my new uploads. Leave me some comments down below. I'd like to hear from you. I'll talk to you again on my next video. Take care, everyone. God bless. Bye-bye.